And let me tell you, that bully ended up being the first girl that I ended up having relations with. Hello, welcome back. My name is Flori, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today, we're going to sit down and talk about something that is very important. When it comes to going to the gym, a lot of us, I'm not saying everybody, the reason we start going is because we aren't exactly the most confident person in the world, and you want to work on yourself, you want to build yourself up, you want to become a better person. So in this video, we're going to talk about at least 5 tips on building your confidence and, some tips for your glow up. Let's get into it. The first tip, I know I see this a lot. You see a lot of manifestation gurus talk about this. And when I say you really need to change your mindset, it is not something that is going to happen overnight, but it is something that does need to happen. Especially as someone like myself who I dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues growing up. I was very depressed. I had no type of self-confidence, and it ruined my life. It made me waste my 20s. So I am here trying to save you from making the same mistake of lacking confidence. Lacking confidence will ruin your life, because when you lack confidence in your looks, in your intelligence, anything, it bleeds into other parts of your life, and people notice, people see it. People notice when you're insecure. You may not think that you're showing these insecurities to other people when you meet them, but you are. Other people can pick up on them, especially men. I see a lot of men who purposely seek out women with low self-esteem because they are easier to manipulate. And people with low self-esteem tend to be easier to manipulate because they yearn for that validation from someone else. So you really do need to change your mindset into believing that you are a person worthy of love, even if it is only coming from your whoever you believe in, or whoever the case may be, your parents. Like, you're not all alone in this world. Especially when it comes to how other people perceive you, you need to change your mindset around that too. Other people's perception of you is none of your business. What other people feel about you has nothing to do with you at all. Trust me, I know. Especially if you experience bullying. Bullying is just projection. People who bully are just unhappy with themselves, and they have to project it onto others, especially at school. Growing up, middle school, high school, I dealt with bullying a lot, and I went to a predominantly black high school. And bullying from people that look like you, we all look alike. I have a big nose, you have a big nose. So they are just projecting their own insecurities onto you. They don't like these features about themselves, or they wouldn't want these features on themselves because they will make them feel bad. So they want to make you feel bad for having them. It's weird. And it's not normal, and I wish people would really stop acting that way. Especially when you are an adult, you're getting into your adult years, you should no longer be comparing yourself to others and projecting your insecurities onto them. Grow up. When it comes to changing your mindset, you really want to focus on elevating yourself, becoming your highest self. That revolves around a lot of things when it comes to religion, spirituality, all things new age spirituality. You want to attach yourself to something that means you want to elevate yourself, no matter what it is. Choose your pick. There's so many things out here in the world that is geared towards people elevating themselves and becoming a better person. You want to do that. You don't want to stay the same person forever. You don't want to be the same person that you were 5 years ago. I know that I'm not. When you lack confidence, it bleeds into other parts of your life. That also leads to you continuously being in this cycle of lacking confidence and having low self-esteem and depression and anxiety and all these other things. I'm not saying that, trauma can't cause these things. Obviously, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what you've been through. But when it comes to how you project yourself onto the world, you want to do so with confidence. You want to do so where people believe you. People don't feel hesitant when they're around you, and people don't feel like you would sell them for a bag of chips. I'm not an expert on how to change your mindset. It took me a long time to do so myself, but what really did it for me was that I was just straight up fed up with myself. I was fed up with being unhappy. I was fed up with not liking myself. I was fed up with other people being able to perceive me as someone lacking confidence. I didn't like the fact that other people felt like they could look down on me because they felt like I was not confident. They felt like I had low self-esteem. And that's the case most of the time. When you do have low self-esteem, people do look down on you. People do feel like they're better than you. And people often try to even pity you. And you don't want that. You don't want people to pity you. You don't want people to feel sorry for you. Like, at all.
It's not the vibes.
At all. Like, no. I've dealt with those type of friendships where they are only your friend because it makes them feel better about themselves for being friends with a weird girl. Like, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be someone's pity friend. No, you want to be confident. You want to project yourself into this world with confidence, and you want to be the person that people look at and they're like, wow. Wow. Tip number 2. I see a lot of people who deal with confidence issues when it just slowly goes on their looks. I see a lot of people as well who lack confidence when it comes to their intelligence. People feel intimidated by other people who are more intelligent to them. And that's why you see a lot of trolls online and people in comments always trying to deflect and always trying to belittle someone in their opinion. Because, if you're right, they're going to feel stupid for being wrong. And often the case, people who project their insecurities onto others, they're just simply not willing to take the time to take a look within and see what they don't like about themselves and do the things they need to do to fix it. Where I was going with that is you need to look at the things that are not physical that you do like about yourself, because not everything is about how you look. I mean, especially in the world that we live in today, it feels like everything is about looks. 50-50, it kind of is. At the same time, you can be good looking and be an awful person. We see it all the time. Looks don't always determine where you end up in life. So a lot of people tend to get too wrapped up in their looks and think that they need to look like this person or that person. No, you only need to look like you. And the person that you are is always and will always be enough. I mean, we can always enhance ourselves, do this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you need to be really secure with who you are deep down on the inside, with your intelligence. Are you a good person? Spiritually, how do you treat people around you? Those things matter, and those things project on the outside. You can be the prettiest person ever, but if you treat people horribly over time, that's going to start to show, especially with mistreating people that care about you, mistreating people that are close to you. You're going to lose those people. You're going to lose your resources. And over time, that has an effect on a person. So you don't want to be only worried about your looks while not willing to work on who you are on the inside. Who you are on the inside matters first, and that shines out through on the outside, and that's really how you glow up. The glow up starts on the inside, always. You can get all the work done. You can go get a BBL. You can go get lipo. You can go get Botox. You can go get filler. But if you are not happy with yourself, you are going to butcher your body until you are unrecognizable. You don't even know who you are anymore. Tip number 3, the things that you don't like about yourself, the things that are fixable. We all have these little small things that we don't like about ourselves. I personally, I'm self-conscious about my skin. I've had acne since I first hit puberty in 6th grade, and it has pretty much ruined my life. I focused so much on my skin to the point where I ruined it. Don't do that. You just want to treat the problem or casually work on the problem, but don't obsess over the problem. Something like your skin, don't obsess over it. Something like your hair, something like your weight. Okay, don't obsess over it to the point where it makes you miserable, to the point where you almost ruin yourself trying to fix it. That's not the glow up. That's not something you want to do. That's not something that builds your confidence. Even if you are wanting to lose weight, you shouldn't obsess over the number on the scale. It should be something that should be fun for you. It should be a lifestyle change for you. It should be something that you feel like is going to make you better. Not something that is torturing you into being the person that you think everybody around you wants you to be. Don't be that. Oftentimes, working on yourself and doing things that you said you would do and doing things purposely to elevate yourself, it gives you a sense of satisfaction that taking the easy way out will not give you. Especially when you do things like working out, you do things like getting facials, you do things like talking to your friends, journaling, going to church, whatever you need to do to work on your inner self, your inner healing, it definitely brings you a sense of satisfaction, because when it comes to building your confidence, it's the same as healing, you guys. The self-care, self-love journey, building your confidence, all of that ties into each other. Everybody is on the way because everybody has held these type of things inside for so long. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to talk about what it's like to be insecure. Nobody does. Now that it's been put to the forefront, more people are willing to open up about it and give you tips on how to work on these things instead of internalizing them and projecting them out onto others. The dopamine release you get when you finish the gym is amazing. You want that all the time. And that's really what people get addicted to. Tip number 4, knowing who you are so that nobody around you can tell you who you are. That really is it. Knowing who you are deep down, nobody else around you can tell you who you are. Having a good sense of self, knowing what you like versus what everybody around you likes, what's trending, what you see your friend doing, what you see your favorite influencer doing. You don't want to be a follower. I got in trouble growing up for being a follower. If my mom sensed that I was doing something because everybody else was doing it, she would be like, no. I would get a sit down and talking to. That was just a big no-no in my house. Being a follower was like being seen as being a sheep, being seen as being stupid. Okay, like following the trends was just not a thing. Like, you really had to have your own sense of individuality to be confident. That's why you see these influencers with all these followers and everybody wants to know what they're wearing, what are they doing today, what are they eating. It's because they're confident. They know what they like. They're secure in their hobbies. They're secure in their who they are. And when you're secure in who you are, it attracts other people to you. And they want to do what you do. I want to be like you. Because being secure and being confident is where it's at. Trust me. I've been on both sides of this. I've been on the side of admiring the confident people. And now I'm on the side of being confident and expressing myself in a way that I feel confident. Knowing who you are, knowing your hobbies, what you like, especially what you dislike, that's more important than what you do like. Know what you dislike so you're not going around here letting people violate your boundaries and only doing things because you see other people doing them and you don't really like it, you don't really enjoy it. Like, I see a lot of people who get into weightlifting and it may not be their thing. You may need to be a cardio girl, you may need to be a Pilates girl, you may need to be a swimmer, who knows? But always trying things, exploring, finding out who you are, that builds confidence. Taking trips, trying new things, reading books. Do those things that you need to do to dig deep and figure out who you are and what you like and dislike. That builds confidence. At the end of the day, you want to hold on to something that no one else can take away from you. That's why you see a lot of women going out and getting degrees, getting their master's degrees, just because at the end of the day, you may talk about my beauty, you may talk about my looks. You can't take away my education. You can't take away my brains. You can't take away what I know. You can't take away what I've learned. Being a confident woman means having hobbies. You need to learn how to date yourself, pretty much. Plenty of videos on that out there. Tam Carr, she talks a lot about dating yourself, and that is so important. Even if it's just the littlest things, you need to know who you are and what you like. You don't want to build your confidence from outside validation. That's why I say you need to know who you are on the inside and be very confident in who that person is. Even if that person is maybe a little bit bitchy, that person may not be the nicest. That's okay. That's who you are. Walk in your truth. Don't let other people try to tell you that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's not who you are. That's okay. You may not have the most friends, but we all can't be the most popular. Outside validation will leave you stuck high and dry when all those people move on to the next person to validate. You don't need outside validation to be confident. You don't need to look to the next person to tell you that you're pretty. You don't need to look to the next person to tell you that you're smart. Go read a book. Go look in the mirror. Go do something yourself that makes you feel confident. It took me years to build myself up to the point where I can look in the mirror and be like, yes, girl, you look really good. You're looking so pretty today. 13-year-old me would never. She could never. And if she could look at me right now, she would be so happy and she would be so proud of me because I was able to build my confidence from scratch. Building your confidence from scratch is tough, especially when you did not receive that outside validation. So trust me when I know what I'm talking about when it comes to building your confidence. It really does start within, because on the outside looking in, people are going to project their insecurities onto you and make you feel small. It's up to you to build yourself up and make you feel like the person that you deserve to feel like. You deserve to feel like that girl. Not only if you have these certain characteristics. It doesn't matter if you only have these set of characteristics or not. You could still be that girl. All right, and the last tip I have for you guys, number 5, you really need to get over yourself. I'm so sorry. You do. Because, and hold on, hear me out when I say this. When I say get over yourself, I just mean in the sense of when it comes to how much other people think about you. You tend to overplay your role in other people's lives. You think other people think about you way more than they do. They aren't thinking about you as often as you think you are, especially when you do something embarrassing. Let's say you trip and fall in the gym. I promise you those people in there are going to forget by the end of the day. Forget tomorrow. They're probably going to forget by the time they go to bed that night. Like, nobody is thinking about you that much. Probably only you. You're only thinking about yourself that much. Trust me. So when you tend to get anxiety and you tend to get nervous about what other people think about you, it's all in your head. And even if people are thinking about you that much, then they probably are in love with you a little bit. Is anybody thinking about you that much, focusing on your looks that much, is probably in love with you a little bit, trust me. In high school, I had this one girl who would bully me. My senior year, yes, I had a bully. And let me tell you, that bully ended up being the first girl that I ended up having relations with. Let me tell you when I say the people who focus on you so much, probably in love with you. The people who are constantly dissecting your looks probably think you are the most gorgeous person they've seen. If I have the biggest crush on you, okay, your bully is probably in love with you. Don't focus on the negative things that they say. And if they are, probably the things that make you the most beautiful. The things people say about you are literally just a projection of their own thoughts. Always think about the things that you say. Comparing yourself to others, pointless. Don't do it. You are you for a reason, and you're a unique individual who is very special. Life would be so boring if everybody was the same. The only person who should be thinking about you that much is your lover, okay? Or your mother. Nobody should be focusing on your looks that much and dissecting them. They're obsessed with you, okay? Trust me. All right, I think that's it. If you have any questions or if you feel like there's anything you want to add, you can always comment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this gives you a little insight, or this was at least a little helpful. If not, then tell me why it wasn't helpful. Tell me what you didn't like, anything in the comments. Let me know. All right, bye.